You're scrolling through your bank app at midnight, staring at a number that makes no sense. You make good money, at least on paper. Your salary sounds impressive when you say it out loud, and yet somehow every month feels tight. Meanwhile, someone you know earns way less than you, but they're traveling, investing, sleeping well at night, and not panicking when rent is due. That gap messes with your head because it feels unfair, like you're working harder but losing. Here's the truth: most personal finance advice will never tell you. You're not bad with money. You're just playing the wrong financial game at the wrong time. Most people are trying to grow their income and cut expenses at the exact same time, and that's why nothing works. They're skipping vacations to save 50 bucks while working overtime trying to earn more, burning out in both directions. They're saying no to a coffee, but yes to stress, confusion, and frustration. It feels productive, but it's actually financial noise. The people who quietly build real wealth don't live like that. They separate their money lives into clear phases and they commit fully to one phase at a time. Let me reframe how you think about money using a concept that's been around forever in the fitness world, but is almost never explained properly in personal finance. It's the idea of bulking and cutting. In fitness, nobody serious tries to build muscle and get shredded at the same time. When you bulk, you eat more, lift heavy, and accept that you won't look perfect for a while. The goal is growth, not aesthetics. Then later, you cut. You tighten everything up, burn fat, and reveal what you built. Trying to do both at once keeps you average forever. Your money works the exact same way. There is a time in your life when your only real job is to increase your income as aggressively as possible. That's financial bulking. And there is a time when your income is relatively stable, and the smartest move is to optimize, protect, and multiply what you already earn. That's financial cutting. Almost everyone fails because they mix the two. Financial bulking is not about being reckless, but it is about being obsessed with growth. This phase usually happens in your 20s or early 30s, but age isn't the real factor. Income leverage is. If your income can realistically increase by $15, $20, or even $30,000 within the next year or two, you are in a bulking phase whether you realize it or not. And in that phase, worrying about tiny expenses is a distraction. When you're bulking financially, your main asset is not your savings account. It's you, your skills, your experience, your confidence, your network, and your positioning in the market. Every dollar you spend should be evaluated with one simple question: does this increase my future earning power? If the answer is yes, it's probably worth it. If the answer is no, it's probably a waste, even if it looks impressive. This is the phase where you invest in courses that actually move the needle. You pay for certifications that unlock higher paying roles. You spend money to live closer to opportunity instead of cheaper but isolated. You upgrade your work setup so you can perform better. You go to the networking event, even though it's uncomfortable. You say yes to projects that stretch you. You switch jobs faster than your parents told you was acceptable. And yes, your savings rate might look bad during this phase. That's okay. People love to shame low savings rates without asking the most important question: are you building income leverage or not? If you're making $45,000 and saving 5% while aggressively leveling up, you're doing better than someone saving 20% but staying stagnant. Because when your income jumps, everything changes permanently. A raise isn't a one-time win. It compounds for decades. Let's make this concrete. Imagine you spend $3,000 this year on education, tools, and positioning that helps you land a job paying $10,000 more. That feels risky, but that $10,000 doesn't happen once. It happens every year. Over a 30-year career, that one move is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, even before you invest a single cent. That's why financial bulking feels uncomfortable. It requires faith in your future self instead of obsession with today's spreadsheet. The mistake most people make is staying in bulking mode forever. They keep chasing the next raise, the next upgrade, the next lifestyle improvement, and they never stop to lock in what they've built. Their income goes up, but their spending rises in perfect sync. Bigger apartment, nicer car, more subscriptions, more convenient spending. They're not building wealth. They're just inflating their life. This is where financial cutting comes in, and cutting requires a completely different mindset. Financial cutting is about efficiency, not growth. It's about keeping more of what you earn and making it work for you. This phase usually makes sense when income growth slows down, when promotions get harder, or when you reach a level of comfort where grinding harder isn't worth the trade-off. In the cutting phase, every dollar matters because every dollar saved can be invested, automated, and multiplied. This is when you audit everything: subscriptions, insurance, housing, transportation, food, taxes, not in a miserable way, but in a strategic one. You're not asking, can I afford this? You're asking, does this genuinely improve my life in proportion to its cost? This is when your savings rate jumps without your income changing at all. You go from saving 10% to 30 or 40% simply by closing leaks you ignored during your growth phase. This is when your net worth starts accelerating quietly. From the outside, nothing looks different. On the inside, everything changes. Here's why most financial advice fails. It treats everyone like they should always be cutting. Skip coffee, cancel Netflix, use coupons. That advice might be fine for someone earning six figures with limited upside, but it's destructive for someone early in their career who should be investing in growth. Spending hours optimizing groceries while ignoring income potential is like tuning a bicycle while ignoring a broken engine. The real danger is opportunity cost. Every hour you spend saving $5 is an hour you're not spending learning a high-income skill, building a portfolio, or applying for better roles. When income leverage is high, time is far more valuable than frugality. When income leverage is low, efficiency becomes king. So how do you know which phase you're in right now? Ask yourself one brutally honest question. If I focused aggressively on increasing my income for the next 12 months, could I realistically add $15,000 or more to my annual earnings? If the answer is yes, you should be bulking, period. Your focus should be skills, credentials, network negotiation, and positioning, not coupons, not minor optimizations. If the answer is no, if your income is relatively capped without massive changes you're not ready to make, then you should be cutting. That's where your highest return on effort lives right now. That's where optimization makes sense. That's where discipline turns into wealth. Let's look at two real-world scenarios. You're 26, earning $52,000 in an entry-level role. You could spend a year trimming expenses and save $1,000, or you could spend that year building in-demand skills and jump to $68,000. One path gives you temporary relief. The other permanently changes your trajectory. The difference isn't discipline, it's focus. Now flip it. You're 34, earning $110,000. Promotions are slow. The next level requires years, but you have lifestyle inflation everywhere. That's when cutting becomes powerful. Finding $15,000 in savings might take a few focused weekends, but that money compounds faster than any side hustle. At that point, protecting income beats chasing marginal raises. The people who win financially don't do everything at once. They sequence their effort. They go all in on growth when growth is available. Then they go all in on optimization when growth slows. Everyone else stays stuck in the middle, half saving, half growing, fully frustrated. The hardest part is the transition. Moving from bulking to cutting feels like slowing down. Your ego resists it. It feels like settling. But it's not. It's consolidation. It's turning effort into ownership. Just like in fitness, the cut reveals what the bulk built. Without it, all that work stays hidden. And here's something most people never hear. If you miss the bulking phase early, it's incredibly hard to catch up later. Time is the most powerful financial ingredient, and you can't buy it back. An extra $20,000 earned and invested at 25 is worth multiple times more than the same amount earned at 45. That's not motivation, that's math. This doesn't mean you should be irresponsible. It means you should be intentional. Spending on growth is different from spending on status. Investing in yourself is different from trying to look rich. One compounds, the other drains you quietly. So here's the simple framework. If you're early in your career or underpaid relative to your potential, stop obsessing over small expenses. Put that energy into income acceleration. Learn skills the market actually pays for. Build proof of work. Negotiate. Move if you have to. This is your bulking phase. Own it. If you're established, well-paid, and stable, shift gears, audit everything, automate savings, invest aggressively, eliminate lifestyle creep. This is your cutting phase. Execute it without guilt. And if you're somewhere in between, choose based on leverage, not age. The worst thing you can do is try to balance both and end up committing to neither. Focus beats balance every time. Right now, you're either leaking money or leaking potential. Both are fixable, but not at the same time. The people who build wealth aren't smarter. They're clearer. They know which game they're playing, and they play it all the way. You don't need more hustle. You don't need more restriction. You need alignment. Pick the phase that matches your reality. Commit fully, and stop wondering why your effort isn't paying off. Once you do that, money stops feeling confusing and starts feeling predictable, and that's when everything changes.